Hey, what's up?
Hey, you think you can help me out with something?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, we got this new FTR here, and I'm not as familiar with these as I am the other Indian road bikes, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions about it.
Yeah, sure. I own an FTR, so yeah.
I knew. I figured you were the guy to talk to on this.
Yep. What questions do you have?
So, I noticed up here on the front end, not only does this have anti-lock brakes, but obviously they're Brembo, but they're dual disc.
Yeah.
Well, like.
So they're dual caliper and dual piston brakes on the front.
Nice.
And a single caliper, single piston Brembo on the rear as well.
Okay.
So.
And we still have the inverted forks for tunability.
Yep.
To everybody's riding style.
One thing they did is they are now doing the LED headlights on these. So the headlight that you would have to get an upgrade on a Chieftain actually comes standard on this.
Sweet. Now, is there, like, with this engine, are there any differences in those in the FTR lineup versus like the Scouts?
So
the engine in those?
There are differences between the Scouts and the FTR. Now, it's based off of the 1133 that comes in the Scout. But in the FTR, they actually bored it out to 1200 cc's.
Oh, okay.
Slightly higher compression, but that equals out to more horsepower and more torque. So
nice.
I think this runs 123 horsepower and 89 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay. Now, and one thing I noticed when I was kind of playing around with it here is this clutch. It's got a much smoother feel than the previous years. I mean, this thing is buttery smooth.
Yeah, so that was one thing that I noticed on mine. I have a 2019, is that the clutch, after riding it for, an hour or so, you start getting those hand cramps that come with it, especially at the beginning of a riding season. And on the 2023s, it's much easier to move in and out. So that was a great improvement on that.
Nice. And now this isn't being an S model. It's not got the upgraded display like what yours does.
Right. So the 1200S models get the 7.8-inch LCD display that gives you the ability to go like track mode and stuff like that. Okay. This one's still same power and everything else. You just can't disable the traction control.
Okay.
On it. So.
And then like this, the gas tank here. Like this actually is not the gas tank, right?
Right. A lot of people see this and they think, oh, here's the gas tank area. And actually, this is the airbox. What you're seeing here is just a cover over the airbox.
Okay.
The gas tank, so this is the fill spot.
Okay.
But there's a pipe that runs down here and your gas tank is actually right underneath the seat.
Oh, okay. All right. And then this seat, this is a obviously all weather grade seat.
Yeah.
So, and it's not really much has changed as far as the seats.
Right. The seats are still the same. I've rode on mine for multiple hours, have no issues with it.
And then with our rear suspension, this is still adjustable. And you're getting like what, 3.5 inches of travel?
Travel, roughly, yeah. And you do get a preload adjustment ring here.
Oh, okay.
And you can actually adjust the dampening on this hard or soft. So if you need it to have a little bit softer suspension travel or less impact, then you move it to soft. And if you need it to be stiffer because you're maybe at the track, then you move it up to hard.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the transmission on this, it's 5 or 6?
It's a 6-speed. It's a 6-speed chain driven.
Okay. And obviously our turn signals, our brake lights are also LED on those as well.
Right.
Straight from the factory.
Yep. And a couple other things on this to make notable are, in the previous years, they never had these fillers, these rubber fillers for the foot pegs.
They just had, it was just metal, right?
Yeah.
With the cleats.
Right. And so now they're putting that on there.
Nice.
Help reduce a little bit of that road fatigue from vibration and such.
Now our exhaust, it looks a little bit different from what I've seen on our previous year's models.
Correct. So
this isn't the Akrapovic.
Right. So previously they had went with an Akrapovic exhaust, which was fine. They had no issues with it. But this year, Indian actually made their own exhaust.
Okay.
Now you can still upgrade to the Akrapovic exhaust. It's still a bolt-on item. But I think that the Indian exhaust that they put on this year. It really helps flow with the bike a little bit more, where the Akrapovic stood out a little bit differently. So,
and then I guess lastly, as far as the factory warranty coverage, it's like the rest of the Indians. It's 2 years unlimited mileage.
Correct. 2 years unlimited mileage. On the 1200S model, yeah, still the same. 2 year unlimited miles on it.
Okay. And really, like, I know you like this style of bike. You know, I like more of the traditional road bikes, touring bikes. Who is this bike really intended for? What type of customer?
Yep. So, you know, it could go both ways. One way would be sport bikes. Obviously, it's a sport. It looks a lot like a sport bike. You don't get quite the forward lean on it that you would a sport bike, but it still has that get up and go that sport bike lovers enjoy. But as far as, you know, it's a flat track racer is what FTR stands for.
Right, right.
And you can still get these, you know, off-road. You would have to change out the tires to something that's not a street tire. But, you know, it gives you that same fun feel being around the track and eating up some dirt with it.
Cool, man. Oh, that's really all the questions I had. If you would like more information on the FTR, stop in and see myself or see Kelly Turner, and we'll answer all your questions on the FTR.